Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, is handing out reparations checks. Yeah, fam. This dude is saying, you get a check, you get a check, you get a check, you get a check, you get a check. Yeah. But you are likely not to get a check unless you are a January 6th rioter, as they say, protester, unless you are Trump's friend, you're a family member, you run one of his companies or something like that. And, perhaps you can get a check then. But other than that, you don't get a check. Unless you can just go ahead and file and say that you were harmed some way during this January 6th episode. But here's the thing. You do know that this is an open application process. Anybody can file. The problem is they are going to put some type of language in there that says that you are sworn to tell the truth. So if you lie about being part of the insurrection, if you would lie about being there, involved in that some type of way, and they find out, you're going to jail. They will make sure of that. Yeah. So what made me speak on this, besides the fact that I've been, in the loop on this already, is I came across a post from Dr. Boyce Watkins. Shout out to Boyce. And he posed the question, what makes you think that your enemies will look out for you more than your friends? And what he meant by that is Donald Trump intends on giving $1.78 billion to his friends and January 6 rioters and his companies and just people that he rocked with, right? And some people were saying that, he need to give Black people reparations. And Boyce was like, well, why would he give Black people reparations when Black people didn't vote for him? But bigger than that, why do Black people expect him to give us reparations when the people who consider themselves our friends, or we consider to be our friends, the Democrats, wouldn't even give us reparations? Man, I ain't got no problem with that. Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. That's real, fam. But here's the deal. Just so none of you get too far ahead of yourselves, I am not by any means advocating for Trump or Republicans, because the way I see it, both parties are our enemies. One just pretends better. That's it. One pretends better. They pretend to be our friend. That's it. Every single atrocity that has ever happened in this country, every single bad thing, every problem that we've had as a group in this country has happened on either the Republicans' watch or the Democrats' watch. If the Republicans were in office, the Democrats watched it happen. If the Democrats were in office, the Republicans watched it happen. Everything, man. It's all happened on both of their watch. They've been seesawing that office for decades. This is what they do. For centuries, they seesaw, right? First is Republican, then we're tired of Republican, now we're going to go Democrat. Tired of Democrat, now we're going to go Republican. Tired of Republican. So if Trump can get so much done, if he can just do whatever the hell he wants to the point to where we feel helpless and we just throw our hands up, why couldn't some of the Democrat presidents do it? We ain't got to put it all on Obama. Why Biden didn't do it? Why Clinton didn't do it? They could have done something. That was a time when we had the House and the Senate. They could have passed legislation They could have got it done. They could have gotten it done. We could have gotten reparations. If you got the House and the Senate, and you had, for a good time, a good chunk of the Supreme Court, reparations should be passed. It shouldn't have been a problem, right? Wrong. Family. It's the government overall. It's the government. They do not rock with us. So we're here to serve them. That's the way they see it. We're here to serve them. They figure out some type of way that they can use us. They want to use us. And then when they're done using us, they want us to shut up. Kind of like a side chick, kind of like a side chick. They want to use us, get whatever it is that they need from us, what they want from us. And then they want you to suffer in silence. That's the relationship they want to have with Black folks. And then when somebody falls short, when somebody can't make it, when they take a look at the downtrodden, when they evaluate the downtrodden and those who are low income, they say, well, why can't you do it? Why can't you do this and that? The Irish did it, the Italians did it, the Mexicans did it, the Venezuelans, or whoever, they did it. Why can't y'all do it? But they won't tell the whole story. So it's two sides to that coin. You got one side of the coin where you have some people within the group who are not as productive, right? But then you have those who are targeted, who are over-policed, right? Who are discriminated against, who are denied loans, who are denied proper housing, who are denied proper education. This is not happenstance. This is not a coincidence, family. This is by design. This is structural engineering. This is structural social engineering. That's what this is. So they try to act like, oh, it's just them. No, it's the government working against us on a daily basis. All of these major atrocities that has a huge effect on stopping us in our tracks when we're making progress, from slavery to Tuskegee, to the Red Line, and to gerrymandering, to the school to pipeline, school to prison pipeline, the crack cocaine, the mass incarceration, even how they target our businesses, for failure. They'll target your businesses by denying you a license or being too slow to give you some type of permit. If you open a restaurant or a club or something, they just go in and try to write you a bunch of citations. They become a nuisance and they get under your skin so much, and they start costing you money, costing you customers, so much so that you just give up and say, you know what, man, and you just go do something else. There's millions of stories out there like that. See, these other groups, they ain't dealing with that type of thing, right? So they don't put those factors, they don't factor in, those type of situations, right? But I know them, fam. I know them. I study them. I know how they rock. So the thing that bothers them more than anything is that no matter what they do, they cannot stop our resilience. Our resilience is unmatched. Yeah, man. Our resilience, our grind, our hustle, our determination is unmatched. And yeah, they get a few of us. A few of us fall victims, a few of us get caught up in the traps, Yeah, they set the traps, and some of us, we walk right into those traps. We know those traps exist, and we walk right into them anyway. But look at how many more of us over the years who have circumvented those traps. Ooh, that's what they can't stand. So they know if we doing it on that type of level, they cannot compete. This is why they cheat and they move the goalposts because they cannot compete. They cannot go mano a mano, cannot go head up. No, man, people are way too sharp. They're way too resilient, way too skilled. Yeah. The best way to stop a person from progressing is to make sure they don't have an opportunity to, or at least limit their opportunities to. Reparations will happen. They ain't gonna happen in this administration, but reparations is coming. I can promise you that. People talk about reparations ain't gonna never happen. Do you know how hard it was for America to end slavery? You, all of the people that was benefited from slavery, not just we think of people who benefit from slavery, we tend to just think about slave owners. We tend to just think about regular old white slave owners, right? Regular old white colonizer. No, man, this came from the top. You had congressmen and women who owned slaves. Congressmen and women. That's why it was slavery was enacted in the first place. It was your founding fathers. Yeah, those uncivilized mutts. So slavery has always been a thing because it starts at the top. So they didn't allow it to happen. They manufactured it. They created it. Yeah, they implemented the program and enforced it with laws. Yeah. So some of y'all be thinking, oh man, it's the South. Nah, man, you northern, eastern states, they all participated and they all ate off slavery. Every last one of them ate off slavery. Some of your biggest institutions, universities, ate off slavery. Yeah. Yeah. Banks, some of your biggest banks owned slaves also. Yeah. They insured slaves. Just the same way you would insure a car, a boat, a house. They insured slaves. This is the history they want to whitewash. And it would be one thing if slavery happened a long time ago and it truly ended in 1865, if it truly had ended and it was over and America had just been progressing racially ever since, it was just going forward, not looking back. We recognize the past, but we're a better nation now and we're going forward. And anybody that's trying to take us back, we're going to treat as an abomination. We are not going to respect nothing about it. But no, that ain't what we do. In this country, racism is rewarded. In this country, uncivilized mutts get a GoFundMe of $250,000, $1 million, $600,000, $800,000. In this country, a nothing ass uncivilized mutt can come up off racism. Racism gets rewarded. Yeah. So it's still going on. It's still happening. That's why the cries are so loud for reparations. And reparations is coming. I'm telling you, it may not happen in our lifetime. Think about even having a black president. I know, we can talk about what he did and what he didn't do or whatever, but we never thought, I never thought about a black president in my lifetime. He was symbolic and all, yeah, you got you, but but it happened. Never thought it would happen. But ending slavery, I would argue that was way more harder to do than stroking a check for reparations. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.